your daddy.
I don't even know where to begin. I'm so pissed. I'm Donnie Baker, and I'm here to report a violation of statute of limitations to Court 7. I ain't filed the paperwork, but I want this on the record. This is where my boat used to be. I come home from work, my boat's been impounded. And I just built this boat ramp, so I want the state to reimburse me for all that lumber, okay? Because my boat, now I've got to mow this now. And some nights I would sleep in it. You not only impounded a boat, you took a whole room addition. All because my neighbor to the north told the homeowners association my boat was an eyesore. Well, so's your wife, Mitchell. We ain't supposed to have livestock in this neighborhood, yet you married a sea cow. Well, I'll say it right to his face. I'll say it right to his face in cursive, because he knows if he comes over, I'll scissor kick his gizzard and break his carotid artery.
I don't even know what I do anymore. Guys, welcome to the first ever live stream here on the RAF Sense YouTube channel, man. How's everybody doing? I see you guys up in the comments, man. I got old Caffeinated Wolf, my boy Andrew. My friends, look at that. The intros, man. I'm telling you what, guys, I am just super stoked at what we're doing today, and it has been a long time coming. I've been trying to get these YouTube up and running, and starting off on the TikTok side of things. It is a very challenging transition going from TikTok to over to YouTube. The vibes are just quite different in the way that you have to make videos and stuff. But man, I'm telling you what, I am incredibly honored to be able to host such a great panel of guests today, man. And as we go on, man, and everything starts happening on this channel a little bit, my goal, my biggest goal is to just not only influence people, but give everybody a platform in some way, shape, or form. But today is absolutely freaking amazing in the fact that I actually get to bring on some people that have influenced me. And I thought there's nothing better than a first live stream than to have just a panel of people that are just amazing in every way, shape, or form. You were right. This is an all-star lineup of guests. I'm telling you what, it is a freaking great day, man. I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Here's my friend Mary. Oh, I love this girl, man. I've known her for quite a number of years, and she's been super awesome to support this channel coming on. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce a couple of these guys. We got one guy that's going to be a little bit late, but he will be here shortly. So this first guy, man, you guys probably seen him on TikTok, and definitely a huge presence here on YouTube. This is Mr. Omar from School of Scent. Mr. Omar, what's going on, my brother? How you doing today?
I'm very well, Jesse. Thank you for having me.
Man, I'm telling you what, this being my first thing, you were the first fragrance influencer I ever followed, and I'm telling you what, just your willingness to step out and return the favor and be part of what I've got going on and stuff too is an absolute joy, and I really do appreciate it, man.
No problem at all. I'm honored that you were influenced by myself.
Abso-freaking-lutely, man. And so are you guys getting all the cold weather that we're getting over here? We had a place here in America that was down to the wind chill last night was negative 100 degrees.
What was that in Celsius? I'm so
like 50 billion. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds cold. No, yeah, that's
it's just the worst thing ever.
We kind of just have like permanent cold for the next few months. Basically, we just live in it and I just accept my fate now. Just live in it all the time now.
Cool.
It's not a bit too much. It's a bit right.
Class is in session, my friends, and joining us right here, we also have another guy who is what I refer to as the paragon of olfactory. integrity, Dan from the Mr. Smelly channel. My friend, how you doing today, sir?
Great. Hello. Wonderful to be here. Hello, Omar. Hello, everyone.
You are such a dapper looking gentleman. Do you tie your own bow ties? Do you know how to tie your own bow ties? Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one, man. I have to clip mine.
I should do, but you know, I haven't got that kind of time. Who has that kind of time anymore?
Wearing them regularly, yeah. Just get the simple ones, because like it takes ages to learn how to do it every time, and it's
a little tricky from what I can see. Yeah, by the time you can't. If it was real life, maybe, but where you're sitting on the camera, nobody can really. Well, I've given it away, but it doesn't look a lot different.
It's okay. It still looks quite nice and just dapper as all get out. And I'm telling you what, man. If you guys in the chat don't know, Mr. Smelly does run a great YouTube channel and is the head of a really awesome community of guys. So be sure no matter what, be sure you're going to check out everybody's YouTube channels and give them a follow. And this last gentleman I've gotten to know over the last few months, and me too. Look at that. And this last gentleman I've gotten to know over the last couple months, he is an up and coming star actually over on the TikTok. He just joined YouTube a couple of days ago. This is Mr. Matt, the O-Day Ragnar. What's up, my bro?
Hello, lads. Pleasure to be here. Everyone watching, hello.
It is a great. Hold up, I need some good background music going on. There we go. It's called "Feeding the Ducks." This song is, but it doesn't. I didn't know "Feeding the Ducks" sounded like this. But Mr. Matt from O-Day Ragnar, man, how's life over your direction? I don't know what it is. All of my guys are over from the other side of the pond. I think it's just my wish, God's way of telling me that I need to get over and hang out in Britain for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, come over, bro. Just mind the cold weather, you Florida boys. Nice and warm over there, not so much here.
Yeah, Florida's not known for liking to participate in winter. We always skip out on winter and just go straight from fall to spring every year.
Yeah, but you had some cold weather recently, didn't you?
It was, yeah, I think we made it down to maybe 35. I guess that's about 2 degrees in Celsius.
Yeah, that's like standard for British winter. Florida, though, probably not so much.
I guess it is. So, my friends, we have this star-studded lineup of people. I dare say the most dapper gentlemen in the fragrance community. And so, ladies, control yourselves. Gentlemen, you also control yourselves, because we don't discriminate here. We love everybody. So, thank you guys so much. So, I wanted to start off real fast because in this group of gentlemen that we have here, everybody has or is in the process of making their own fragrance. And I have only one of these. And now that I'm working a little bit of overtime, I'm getting some spending money. I am very close to purchasing a bottle of Cipri Fulminare here in the next week or two. And Mr. Dan, I am so happy for your success on that one, man. Can you tell us a little bit about your fragrance, my friend?
Sure. Yeah, thanks for the intro there. Yeah. So this is the third one we've released. We also had Gravitas Pour Homme and Bon Viveur, but Gravitas was the first one. That's a Fougère. Bon Viveur is sort of a citrusy chypre, and this one also is a chypre, as the name implies, and it's a lot more kind of heavy going, richer, kind of an old school vibe, but I get a little bit it sounds a bit cheesy to say updated for modern times, but it doesn't smell mega dated. So it's very, very sort of strident, bold, and potent, kind of masculine leaning in smell. Anyone can wear it. Fulminare means to strike like lightning, and now I should have memorized the notes by now, but I'll give you the gist. So we've got lime in the top. Have we got lemon? Let me just check that. I'll cheat, it's better. Lemon, lime, ylang, orange in the top. Mid notes of pepper, incense, and leather, and your base notes of vetiver, oak moss, labdanum, castoreum, and ambergris. And it's of course John Stephen, a UK perfumer, and we're really lucky that he will do these for us, because he's been going for, I think his first release was maybe even in the late 80s or something for Check and Speak. Excuse excuse me, and he makes, excuse me, he makes fragrances for Bodicea the Victorious too. Give me 2 seconds.
Right down.
Sorry, man. He is totally taken back by the greatness and grandeur of his fragrance, man. He's just left speechless.
There's the worst times to start dying. It's in the middle of the light.
Yeah, I know.
It's so inconvenient.
You just spray it on and start dying. That is a great sales pitch, Mr. Dan. Wait.
I'm all right now. Thank you. No, thank you for filling in. So yeah, no, we've had really good results with it. It's actually just it's a long story, but it's sold out in the UK, in the USA. Sorry. But we're getting some more over. But there are some bottles either arriving very soon or maybe on sale already in Lucky Scent in the UK, because we in the USA we sent the last few to them, and we're getting more over there really as soon as we can. It's very difficult, but yeah, amazing critical response. It's kind of had the best critical response from people, and it's very much. The thing with my fragrances is I don't have the biggest following, but the people who like me know that I'm very much about the old school kind of vibes. So they kind of know that it will be in keeping with what they expect from me. So I'm lucky that I have the people who do like me, and there aren't that many of them, but they're very invested and they are willing to sort of trust me and buy it. So luckily this kind of works out as a really good...
it's quality over quantity.
It works, yes. Unfortunately, yeah. I'd like to increase the quantity too, but yeah, I have really, some of my followers really do tie in with the same kind of things that I really enjoy. So they kind of know that they'll probably get something they really like. So we're really lucky with that, and yeah, great critical response, and we like a nice bottle design too. I can't take much credit.
So I have it here, Dan. It's your fragrance, so we can appreciate. Should we get like a third party perspective on the fragrance?
That would be lovely. Yes.
Yeah. I want to attest that this is a very, very good fragrance. It's very complex, and I think really, if anyone wants like a really elegant signature, this is like extremely good. I think this is one of John Stevens' best work, actually. Like this is his style through and through. I genuinely think your brand does some excellent fragrances. Honestly, this is like some of the best barbershops I've ever smelled. I keep saying in my channel, you might have seen like Bon Viveur, a lot of compliments from that fragrance. This is like Bon Viveur is more my style, but this is like extremely complex. This is like one of the best fragrances you ever smell. But you will be like exploring and discovering new things about it every time. Like even just a note breakdown, even with our fragrance as well. Like John Stevens, I feel like he's more of a guy who blends fragrances rather than making any one note stick extremely on its own. He's very much a really good, smooth blender. As you say, he's been doing this for like 50 years now. And this is what I would say is something that's very spicy, floral, as well as citrusy. Those are my three main spicy, floral, citrusy. I would say it's quite dry. It's more like a dry, like intense, elegant signature. I feel like you wearing like your bow tie now, like a black tie dress code would work with this fragrance. Extremely elegant. I think you should wear this all year round. Like this really like the way it smells surprised me to all the notes I saw. I really do think this is extremely complex and really a fascinating fragrance. I think this is like some of the best quality juice I've ever smelled in my life, honestly. Well done.
I'm really excited to get my hands on some of that. And that is going to be happening probably within the next week. I am very excited. And also I've heard Mr. Omar talk about Bon Viveur as well. And that one just the clean. I slept on it initially. I think Gravitas is easier to smell at first, but actually I think Bon Viveur is very much the dark horse. Not a dark horse, but the underdog of the brand. I feel like more people should be talking about it. Nice. And I do need to get some of these chaps real fast. Hype to ask some good questions, man. Glad to have you on here. Daneem Fragrance, hi Dan. And he also said hi Omar as well. Man, this is what a great good people in here. Will there be a Wordle segment? I'm not sure actually what a Wordle segment is myself. Mr. Dan, if anybody knows any Wordle segments, feel free to fill me in or something.
One of the other people's been doing it on his stream, and it's like a crossword, but a different kind of word game. But
I'll have to look into that. Maybe I'll put in a game at some point in time. Scent of the day, Chanel's Antaeus. Woo! That's potent. That's
Good
potent,
choice.
but
Good choice.
respect. What's everybody wearing today? Is everybody going on fragrance today?
Obviously.
What do we got, Matt? What are you wearing today, Fro?
Savage Elixir, bro. Standard.
Ooh, I love Elixir. Mr. Dan, what you got wearing today?
I just got out the shower, so I just wanted something simple. So I've got actually Guerlain Pamplemousse, which pretty much smells of grapefruit, in a very nice way, kind of bergamot and grapefruit. Very simple, clean, fresh fragrance.
Ooh,
I thought you were about to say, like, I just got out of the shower, so I just went for Lynx Africa, something simple.
You know, I used to like Lynx Africa. I used to enjoy that, many years ago. Yeah, but this is good, very affordable. Yeah.
Mr. Omar, what you got going on today? What you wearing?
Just applied this a few hours ago, and then I just applied one spray of this.
That's what I'm talking about. And I am wearing a great unisex fragrance from Lease. It's called Rose Struck. This is like a less intense Moschino Toy Boy mixed in with Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Forever. So it's very citrusy on the top, and then it dies off into that really, really nice rose and even some green matcha tea on the bottom. And it's very bright and very fresh, and my wife really, really enjoys it as well. And so we got that going on. Fern in the house from New Zealand, my man Karen. Look at that. Karen is one of my great friends who follows me on a lot of my channels, and a very good friend of mine. For some reason, he trusts me wholeheartedly with fragrances. He video called me when he was in the store one day and said, "What should I pick up? I'm looking at this thing from Wilhelm Perfumery." And I said, "Have you tried Morning Chest?" He goes and sprays on some Morning Chest from Wilhelm. He's like, "I'm getting this." And it was like $450. And he bought it right there. So my man, Karen, he has a lot of faith in me, I guess. And what is this? This is actually my aunt. This is my Aunt Jenny from up in North Carolina. So I've actually got family in the house. I love you, Aunt Jenny. This great friend Angelus from another part of my social media. David Ragnar with Azara, the most wanted for sure. That's what I'm talking about. Boom. And look, Ragnar put me on some great fragrances that weren't well known but gaining no popularity. Man, Matt, you're having quite the influence yourself, my friend. So tell us a little bit about yourself, man. What are you into? You're on the TikTok channel as well, right?
Yeah, so TikTok is my main thing. So I came onto YouTube, within the last couple of days, trying to branch out. So I need to get more active on Instagram as well. I've got this, so it's the same name across all platforms, Oda Ragnar. So my name is actually Matt, but Ragnar is the nickname. So Oda Ragnar, that's where the name came from. The fragrances I deal with, Mr. Smelly, he says, is more into, the gentleman, classier, more old school signature kind of scents. I know Omar from School Scent does absolutely everything. I've watched Omar for a long time, along with Jess as well. So my kind of signature and specialty would be like Arabic kind of scents. That's, a big demand on my TikTok. So Latafa, Amarth, and companies like Afnan, as well as your lesser known designers. So like your Azaros, that's kind of what I became known for, Azaro fragrances. That's the first video that really took off on TikTok for me. And that's what I hold close to my heart, the Azaros.
Now, are you also looking into making your own fragrance at some point in time?
I am indeed, yeah. I've got it right here, but it's still a work of progress. So it's not complete. This is just a sample. And the DNA of this fragrance is going to be a clean, fresh, yet slightly spicy and warm fragrance. So it's quite a combination. Smells really nice. So the official note breakdown I can't give because it's still a work in progress. But in terms of the fragrance, it's just going to be something easy wearing, nice, pleasant to wear. It smells insane. I'd say if I had to give you an idea, it would be like a mixture of, say, Afnan, 9 PM, Invictus, and Sauvage. Like, if you combined all of those, that's the kind of DNA that we're working with. But it is still a work in progress, and the bottle I'm not completely sure on as well, because it does look like a rip-off of Sauvage, and that's not what I want. But yeah, it's going to be good when it does come out.
Awesome.
So nice.
Very awesome.
Is that something you made yourself, or are you a perfumer yourself, or are you commissioned for that?
Yeah, so I commissioned somebody to do it. Perfumery myself, actually blending fragrances and working with aroma chemicals, raw materials. That is something that I want to learn. So I watch a lot of Aaron Terrence Hughes to try and understand more of the lingo and all of that kind of stuff. But no, I'm not a perfumer myself. It's just something I do want to learn though. 100%.
Sam Macer. Watch Sam Macer on YouTube. He's the guy to go for.
Sam Macer.
Macer. Macer.
Yeah, I'll check him out after you have to send it me in a private message, and I'll check it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Like,
Sam Macer. I'm putting that. We've got a little private chat section in the area here that I'll post that in as well, and I'll remind you of it as well. And Mr. Omar, my friend, I am so impressed with this, brother. You've outdone yourself with Mr. Fragrant, man. I just wanted to tell you 100%. I love this scent, man. This is a great blue fragrance, I think. How it's sold out in the United States, isn't it?
Yeah, a similar situation to Dan. Like, yeah, our fragrance sold out in the USA very quickly, and now, got to wait a bit of downtime before we get another batch in, essentially. And that's going to be the last bottle we ever make of it. I'm glad you like it so much, because it's never going to be made again. That's it.
Ooh, okay. I like it. I like carrying the discontinued fragrances, if you will, but there's going to be more behind this one as well, right?
Yeah, it's to ensure it never gets reformulated. If you discontinue it straight away, it can never be reformulated. So that's the reason I'm doing that. No, I'm kidding. It's the thing we're doing. We're making one batch for each fragrance, then moving on to the next release. That's going to be I'll reveal more about it. But yeah. What do you mean by more behind it? What do you mean by that?
Oh, I mean, there's going to be maybe a second type of Mr. Fragrant going on down the line. Don't you have plans to maybe release 4 or 5 different fragrances at some point?
Yeah, so they call different things. They'll have the same Mr. Name behind them. So yeah, I've actually got the second formula here, which is going to be a very different fragrance. This is going to be basically like the date night evening intimate fragrance. That's but it's like a date fragrance. It's very well balanced. It's not like, okay, Dior Intense is more of a cold weather fragrance. This is that kind of cardamom amber DNA that a lot of people have in date fragrances, like the one Eau de Parfum. Tom Ford Noir Extreme goes for the cardamom direction, and so does Dior Homme Intense has cardamom as well. Cardamom and amber, and then we're mixing it with a lot of sandalwood and white floral. So we kind of take that effect and try to twist it on itself with white florals and see if we can make a sexy fragrance like that. And that's what the second fragrance is. And I actually think it's even better than Mr. Fragrance, honestly.
Really? Dang.
Yeah.
Do you have so it's still in the early processes of formulation right now?
No, this is it. This is the finished.
That's it. That's going to be finalized.
Yeah. This is it.
I like it. Mr. Smelly, Mr. Dan, you also got one of these bottles of Mr. Fragrant as well, correct?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with it. So of course it's John Stephen as well, and it really shows how versatile he is. He always puts a little bit of his own magic into everything, and it's got his little touch of some kind of signature of something that I can't quite put my finger on. But I really like it. And I'm trying to pick out I definitely get quite a bit of patchouli, which I know is one of your notes there, and it's listed as an aromatic fougere, which I guess strictly it is, but it's very much not in the sort of old school type of what I did. It's a very much more kind of a sexy smell, I would think, like modern, but not smelling much like anything else that I've smelled. Very high quality. It really lasts really well. It's complex, as John Stevens stuff is, and as you say there, Omar, you never really, it's very hard to pick out, oh, I get that note or that note. It just smells like this one cohesive thing, and it smells very grown up. It's actually completely different to what I expected from you, because I thought, because your channel has really great views and you talk about a lot of very popular fragrances for men, I thought, well, maybe it will be a very mass market, crowd pleasing style that I recognize, but I don't recognize it as smelling that much like anything else, really. It's got its own magic. So hats off to you for that. It's a very bold and yet very wearable and versatile release, and great. I must say the bottle design, very simple, but it's very heavy. So it's good quality stuff. The sprayer and everything is really nice. So yeah, great. Really very impressed.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I had the exact same reaction. I was expecting. I knew you have like this. How do you say? We make videos, you know, a lot of times, especially being on TikTok. Matt knows about it too. Is a lot of you know, popular designers and stuff. But like Dan was saying, man, this one was a lot more complex and away from that than I was even ready for right here. Because I was like, okay, blue fragrance. I'm thinking, you know, a YSL, a Blue de Chanel, something like that. But then I got hit with the vetiver on it, and I'm like, oh, bro, gentleman, all the way through and through.
Yeah, thanks. The idea of the brand is to try and take existing concepts and flip them in some way, to, like in a weird kind of unorthodox way. That's the whole point of the brand. So hopefully each release. So this is what will be more of a safe direction. Actually, this is probably our safer sense. It's going to go even more, not crazy. So I still think it's to be wearable, but it's going to be more different. You know, release.
Well, I thought this was a very great release. And guys in the chat, just don't be afraid to hit that thumbs up button as always, and be sure that you are subscribing to everybody on here. You can find us on a number of different social media channels, from TikTok to Instagram to here on YouTube as well. Speaking of TikTok, now all of us have TikTok channels in the respective sense of the word and everything. And, you know, a couple of us are more focused on this. I know that me and Dan have talked about this on a couple of his streams from time to time about, you know, what role TikTok plays and different areas of social media play in the fragrance community and in fragrance influencing and stuff. And honestly, I've been close a couple times. First time Dan ever had me on one of his streams, I was close to wanting to step away from TikTok, and
I don't blame you.
I didn't. I decided against it and kind of filtered a few things out myself. But you know, let me ask you this. You know, and I was talking with Matt a little bit. You know, we got some. I guess not necessarily strong opinions, but very very poignant point of views on what role does TikTok or what role does TikTok or should TikTok play in the fragrance world? You know what I'm saying? Myself, my biggest struggle is a lot of times you see the same videos of reviewing Eros, reviewing Sauvage, reviewing this, and you're always asked the same questions. And a lot of the most popular channels sometimes are from guys going into a fragrance shop, picking up a bottle of a sample, reviewing it, putting it down, and walking away completely.
I'm so glad somebody brought this up.
You know, so tell me what you think about that, Matt.
So I have a love-hate relationship with TikTok. So I think it can be very useful because, so my opinion is TikTok is the new Facebook. So remember when Facebook came out, everybody was on it. It was the place to be. Same with like MySpace. I think now that's TikTok. So society has shifted. I think people want fast, fresh, new, like fast fashion. I think that's kind of the same with, social media. But like you just said, you see people go into a department store, let's say Selfridges or Harrods here in the UK, Macy's in the US, film the fragrance in the hand, tell you, go and buy this. But they don't give you a reason why you should buy it. So that's the massive problem for me, because you're trying to influence somebody to spend their money without giving them a reason why, without actually, physically showing the bottle, giving a description of the bottle, and elaborating, explaining about the way that things work. So it's a love-hate. There's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad as well with TikTok, but I think there's more good than bad, because it does, with the algorithm, I think it's so easy to just come across a video and think, oh, that's interesting. Whereas compared to YouTube, it's a little bit more difficult to find these kind of things, if that makes sense. I think it's more accessible on TikTok. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of problems. Or people, another big issue of mine is you'll all be familiar with it. These creators that make a video that's just animated, so they'll just show a picture that they've had from Google saying, this will get you all the girls, picture of Savage. This will get you too many compliments, picture of Dior Homme Intense. And the chances are that the person making that video owning those fragrances is very, very slim. So there's a lot of fraud, so to speak, on the app, you know, trying to do it for popularity, trying to become the next Jeremy fragrance. So that would be my major issue with TikTok there. But all in all, I think it's quite accessible, and I think it's probably a better thing for the fragrance community in general. I do apologise for the rant, fellas, but that's my 50 pence on TikTok. It's a love-hate relationship.
I agree, and I am curious, you know, from Omar and Dan, you guys have a much bigger, I mean, Omar, you've got a massive TikTok following on top of your YouTube following as well. But especially from you guys that have a bigger, wait, I'm pointing over here. I need to point over here, I guess. You guys have a bigger following on YouTube. How do I word this? Do you guys get a sense of maybe, and I don't blame you if you do, of maybe looking down or kind of scoffing, if you will, at TikTok creators from time to time?
Well, TikTok creators in the fragrance industry, you mean?
Yes.
Me specifically. No, I don't think so. I think TikTok has advantages of being, it's like new land that can be explored. You can really be, that app has made some people very famous very quickly. So I think it's quite an exciting app for that reason. People can blow up really easily. Everyone can go viral. I do have 500,000 followers on there, but it doesn't feel like that because, as you said, if you don't make the content everyone wants to see, the algorithms push it. So I could just keep making the 18th video on Eros of the month. But I think now for me, I take TikTok a lot less seriously now. I see it as more of a casual, fun thing. I think it's quite just a casual, fun social media app. I feel like there's a big juxtaposition, big contrast between TikTok and Instagram. I feel like Instagram was an era of really fake social media, whilst TikTok actually feels a little more real. And I think the reason why those videos of people just saying, go get this, is because I think TikTok sort of feels like that kind of community where you're talking to your friends. Like it sort of feels like having mates. Like most people, when they talk about fragrances, they don't talk about their notes. They kind of have a friend they know in real life who's like, yo, Eros is so sexy. I think a lot of teenagers who go on TikTok like that, a lot of that content. That's my theory behind it. So I think TikTok can burn you out if you take it too seriously. My recommendation is always like, just don't take it so seriously. YouTube takes it more seriously, but like TikTok is just like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Dan, how do you view TikTok? And
I think that's a good idea.
Mr. Dan, how do you view TikTok and content on that platform?
Well, I've done YouTube, of course, as my main thing. I think I might be the only one of us who did YouTube as the main thing first before TikTok. I'm not sure. So I've come at it the different way around to some of you, and I only got into it about 18 months ago, and I did some like comedy ones that were really terrible. I kind of enjoy TikTok. I don't mind TikTok at all. I know there's a lot of negativity about it from people who are not on it in the fragrance community. So I kind of view it as a bit like Omar said. Mine's only fairly small, like 30,000 followers. But I mean, I built that up a lot quicker than I got 30,000 on YouTube. And I guess I'm a bit of a boomer, and I don't really understand TikTok. Like I don't understand. I did a video that's got 800,000 about why you don't need Dior Sauvage, and then another day I might try another thing on that theme, and it only gets 800, and it's more or less the same. I don't really understand, so it feels a bit random, like something will just take off and you don't understand why. But I quite enjoy it. And I think Omar's right that you were sort of hinting that it's a little bit of a virgin territory almost compared to the oversaturated YouTube world. So if I was starting out now from nowhere, I'd probably put quite a lot of priority into the TikTok, because I feel there's less experienced good people on there. Obviously, you guys have just followed Oda Ragnar, that you guys are an exception, but there's quite a lot of low quality fragrance material. So I quite enjoy maybe standing out a little bit as somebody different, as the middle-aged guy. And I quite like, sometimes I'm lazy and I just put a minute clip from my YouTube video, but that doesn't really tend to do as well as when I make the effort to sit down and do a proper portrait video. And some of them have done all right, and so I quite enjoy the challenge, and I like the idea, maybe because fragrances, there's nothing wrong with a 1 minute or less description of a fragrance. Sometimes you don't need more than that. So I think you can give, or even a top 3 or whatever. If you're clever, you can do something interesting and different on TikTok, and I enjoy the challenge. But it's not really part of I don't make any money at all from it. All the money I make all comes from other areas. But I think you've got to be in there in this day and age, even if you're 46 like me. I think it's everyone who's got a serious ambition of being big on the Instagram or YouTube, I think they also should do TikTok, and we'll see what happens. Could it even become more important than YouTube in fragrance influencing? I don't know.
Yeah, I think TikTok just really rewards people, as you said, like people want to see the effort made for TikTok, and I just really think TikTok rewards people who are very candid, whilst YouTube is more like, oh, I want to make like a structured video. TikTok, like I know, like my DSLR, blurry background videos, I generally don't do as well as when I just pick up my phone and record a video. I think TikTok really rewards that sort of, laid back, like as I said, like a friend talking to you through the phone. That's the kind of vibe TikTok gives off. And I think for people who want to like do business through TikTok, I think if you're aiming for teenagers, it's definitely the way forward. Like younger crowds. TikTok shop, all these TikTok ads are blowing up all these companies now.
Yeah, it's definitely more casual app.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Is there? Do you find a difference? What do you look for? Like if you're looking at a TikTok video, what do you look for? What differentiates? What do you take seriously on TikTok versus what do you think of as? That's clickbait. That's my biggest thing. Is there's a lot of clickbait on there versus, and people. And I think sometimes there are people that mistake clickbait, I guess, videos for actual reviews. Sometimes that's kind of where my struggle lies.
Yeah, I think that there's toxic trends on both like platforms. You have the clickbait thumbnails on YouTube, and you have like the annoying people on TikTok who are like, they show you a 1 minute video for no reason, and because they just ended with click for part 2 if you want to see the result and things like that. Or people who do like pointless duets and pointless reactions that don't add anything to the video. I think TikTok for most parts it kind of kills my brain cells, if I'm honest with you, because you're just scrolling on stuff and it's like 20 videos in a row, like the same person, like the same face filter, people doing silly trends and just like the same trend over and over. And then all of a sudden you get like some 10-minute like political rant out of nowhere, and your brain just like, whoa, just switches. It's crazy. It's just like a weird, different experience. And then it's like been 16 hours gone by, and you haven't fed your pets in days. Don't know what's happened.
Yeah.
But now YouTube Shorts are making a big emergence too.
That's the thing. I think if you're a content creator, you should definitely be. That's the advantage now. You can go big on YouTube through Shorts as well and Instagram Reels. So there's no point just uploading on TikTok only anymore. Put it all out: Instagram Reels, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. Because we're trying to capitalize on it now.
I've told myself I need to do a YouTube short every day, which obviously, it's just would be the same thing that I put on TikTok, and I do it as an Instagram reel. And if anyone's starting out on YouTube, I think doing a lot of shorts is a really good thing. I think we will see people grow with a fragrance YouTube channel primarily growing through shorts, which hasn't happened yet, but I think it will. Yeah,
absolutely. And I found for myself, it's understanding, especially a fragrance influence. You just have to know how the different platforms work and what they are geared towards. Instagram is going to be, if you're going to put out content on there, you're going to have to put out more pictures or more of this or that. But YouTube is going to be more geared towards this. TikTok's going to be more geared towards that. And even Twitter, Twitter's kind of not big for fragrance influencers or anything right now, but gearing some content directly for that in certain ways is, just understanding the various pros and cons of each one, because they're all unique unto themselves or whatever. But YouTube Shorts, I think those are making a big more of an emergence, and I probably have to make myself actually make original YouTube Shorts, because most of the time I just take a TikTok and it saves to my phone, and then I just re-upload that to YouTube. And I think YouTube probably catches on that, and so I probably never had I think my most viewed YouTube short is maybe 3,000, something like that, 3,500. But most of them get 50. Most of them get 60 views. It's a good day for me for a YouTube short to get over 200 views. And then it's gone forever, pretty much. So they've made it a little bit difficult, and even the YouTube monetization, those standards have gone way, way up, because now you need like 1,000 followers and 4,000 hours of watch time, or you need 40 million YouTube short views in order to be eligible for monetization on YouTube. So they've really stepped up their standards. It used to be 1,000 followers and 1,000 hours of watch time to be eligible for monetization on YouTube now. And
for me, social media has become like the modern day gold rush. So like the gold rush of the 1800s, out in the American West. I think that is like social media now, with Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. There's just that much competition. So I think that's why the standards have increased, because that many people are doing it now. Same like the same way gold became harder to find. So I think that's just like that's how I see it, like the modern day gold rush kind of thing. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Let's see who's got the talent, so to speak, to do it. That's kind of how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to ask Omar, do you think that's true what RAF said there, that does YouTube not like it if you upload the same video you put on TikTok as a short? Does it know?
I don't think it's the YouTube algorithm per se. I think it just shows. It seems like the quality goes down when you save it onto your device, and you also have like the annoying TikTok logo that goes up and down. I would just generally advise just like get like an editor app on your mobile phone, record the clips on your camera, the phone camera itself, and then link them together instead of using the TikTok app itself. And then you can just use that exported clip. Put that in your Instagram Reels, put that in your YouTube Shorts, so you can have it all in 3 different.
That's what I've done. Yeah, I've actually uploaded it from my laptop, the same clip that I use on TikTok, but I just upload it direct from my video edit, because I don't do it direct from the phone. I do a little bit of captions and stuff on my laptop, but so it doesn't have the logo or whatever music I put on TikTok. So maybe that way it looks more like an independent YouTube short video. But do you think, Omar, also, would a different style of content be better for a YouTube short or in a TikTok because of the different audience, or do you think we're okay mostly just the same clip?
I've generally found, so I think it's just efficient to put them on all 3. Don't save yourself some time. But I generally find, you have a more mature audience on Instagram and YouTube. You have a younger account on TikTok. So I generally see that there can be videos where things will go viral on the Instagram and the YouTube, and then doesn't go as viral on TikTok, but still does okay. But then if something does go viral on TikTok, it generally goes viral on all 3 of them. So it's kind of generally that if you have the right topic will go viral on all 3. Mm-hmm. Just make sure where you don't have like a screen recording or like a save to device thing where you have the TikTok logo floating around. I think I'm
gonna have to do that myself. Like I started my TikTok. It was completely by accident that I took off, because I always just did it kind of as a little hobby, and I always recorded videos right before I went to work. So I would record something for like 3 seconds and then do something quick in it and then post it, and then boom, I'd be off to work and I wouldn't even check the comments for like a couple of hours. But that also created like a habit in me of like, just do that and then it'll save your phone and you just use it wherever. But I think you're right. I think I'm going to start doing that more, is just doing it from my camera phone and uploading it different places just to avoid that annoying TikTok logo in the bottom. And we do have some questions up in the chat. If you guys would be okay, would you be open to answering some questions from people in the chat room? How did you guys get into fragrance, and what was your first fragrances?
Just so you know, Jesse, I'll probably have to leave in 10 minutes. If you
Not a problem. Not a problem. You just let me know when, and we will send you off.
Right.
So, Mr. Omar, how did you get into fragrances, and what were some of your first purchases?
I got into them because my dad used to buy me Hugo Boss when I was a young boy, and eventually when I was late teens, early university days, I started experimenting with this weird brand called Mont Blanc, and I started going away from fragrances that were on sale. I'd buy them full price, for example, and I thought, this is crazy. I was like, wow, this perfume smells so different to what a safe perfume should smell like. I carried on for a good few years, and then eventually I ran into Jeremy fragrance in 2018, I think. And then from there, my love for fragrances just kept growing.
True that.
My first fragrance, I think, was probably the original Hugo Boss bottled, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a gem. That is a gem. Mr. Dan, what were one of your first fragrances, sir?
Well, I was into them a little bit. For many years, I was wearing Chanel Allure Sport, and before that, I really liked Chanel Pour Monsieur, but I wasn't a frag head, and I didn't know there was a hobby of fragrances until I saw it on YouTube about 2015. So, although I'm a bit older than some of the other guests here, it's still fairly recent for me. It was about 2015 that I just found out that's actually through YouTube, which I'm going to be honest, it did include Jeremy Fragrance. There was people like Lex Ellis, Red Adolescent, Max 40, and I just suddenly discovered this whole world on YouTube, and I got a little bit drawn into it. That's when I first even found out that there was things like Creed, and I guess maybe I have that mildly obsessive personality. So not in an unhealthy way, but I had a little gap in my life, and I needed a new hobby, I think, and it tied in with a lot of the kind of things that appeal to me. And yes, I got sucked into the YouTube thing at that time. I don't watch that many YouTube fragrance videos now, because when you're making your own and stuff, you get over it after a while. But for a brief period, I did binge and discovered so much, and I got myself Aventus, and then Green Irish Tweed, and Bois de Portugal by Creed, and then I got into the vintage thing. So yeah, it has been really, to be honest, mainly just through the YouTube, and then you meet people, and in those days Facebook groups were more of a big thing. There was a big UK Facebook group, and people would buy and sell fragrances, which was nice because you could trust that they weren't fake and they were really good prices. So there was a nice community thing, and so I got sucked in basically through YouTube, and then found that my own tastes did gravitate towards the old school stuff. So I've ended up maybe getting typecast a bit much in that direction. But you know what? I'm glad it happened. So yeah, so it's all thanks to YouTube.
Well, I am glad it happened too.
Can I ask you a quick question? What do you think is the evolution or next step for fragrance YouTube? Or how do you think as a community we can move forward? Because I feel like maybe we're still stuck. I think maybe we've gone past the Jeremy fragrance era, which was like very much the same, the one eau de parfum and Versace Eros every single video. What do you think?
Wow, I don't know. I mean, I think you're right. The things have evolved now, and the things that worked 5 years ago, like oh wow, big deal, it's my summer top 10, doesn't necessarily get you anywhere anymore. There's a lot more competition, obviously, for the male-oriented channels. We've got women doing it, who of course have a little bit of a head start, because men naturally want to hear unattractive women tell them what they like to smell on a man, mostly. But I mean, Omar, you've grown much faster than I ever did, so you probably know better than me what people want.
The hot woman down, I'll be at 5 million subscribers now.
You would indeed, with your skills, if you just had a big I don't know. I tell you what, I'm pretty, I'm often not that thrilled with my own progress, but I've got my own little niche, so I guess that's good. I do think there needs to be something new and more inventive, and I think you're we're a bit behind some other genres where people are much more creative, and everyone does very much copy what they think seems to work and double down on it, and then it becomes, they regurgitate the same thing. And I get that, because when it's your job or really important part of your life, nobody wants to put the hours in and get only 100 views or something, so people have to do it. But I think it's getting a little bit boring, and there's room for something different. But I really don't know. I my only hope is that it does continue to be popular, and I think it will somehow. But I hope it doesn't completely die a death. I don't think it will, but I think it has become very stagnant, and there's room for some innovation there. We have people doing the live streams as a bit more of a thing, but let's be honest, that that's not getting any huge views or anything. So that's a very small niche within the niche. I don't think that will be like the future. So I guess if I knew the answer, I'd be doing it, and clearly I don't. So, but I know the one thing is sure, it will change, and it will change fast. And you either have to be setting the pace and ahead of the game, or you'll be falling behind. And I'm afraid I may fall into the latter category, but you never know.
Yeah,
I think, Omar.
Yeah. I think it'd be nice if we can get into the more perfumery side of things. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. But yeah, it's tough. As you said, people like to just hear about the same popular fragrances over and over.
Exactly. Yeah, you feel, oh, look, here's what I'm passionate about this week. I've just bought these 2 rare vintage fragrances, and I'm kind of excited to share them. But sometimes you think, well, can I afford to take the hit of that video only getting 500 views because no one cares? It is difficult. I don't know. I think if you are passionate, though, because sometimes if I try and do clickbait, that fails too. What people like is genuineness, and they do see through it if it's too, you're just doing the repetitive clickbait. Or at least for me, that doesn't seem to work. So I think whatever I might try and do to be better would involve being true to myself. But I need to find a new, more creative way of doing it. But yeah, it's interesting to hear you're going to evolve a little bit there, Omar. I think that's probably smart.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think staying true to yourself is the best way to go. That's it, really. As you said, show off your personality.
Mr. Matt, what was one of your first fragrances, bro?
My very first one was Lacoste Red, actually. I bought it on the ferry back from France. And the fragrance that got me into the fragrance world would be Moschino Toy Boy. I remember I got home from work one day and I was just smelling it. I thought, oh, how have they made something that smells that nice? And I couldn't stop smelling it. And it was smelling that fragrance on that day. That's what kick-started my obsession for fragrances. But my very first one was Lacoste Red. Basic, old school, but people pleasing. Yeah, I don't actually own it. I should do.
Nice. Very nice.
Can I just ask, Oda Ragnar, so you've just started on YouTube, is that right?
Yeah, so I've been on TikTok for 7 months. I'm at 22,000 followers now.
Brilliant.
So I've just this week, maybe 4 days ago, just moved over to YouTube as well. So I'm going to start uploading content on here. Mainly short now, but in the future, towards later in the year when I've got the editing equipment, I'm going to start editing full videos.
I was going to ask. Yeah, so you're mainly just doing shorts at the moment, but you might look to do more long form content on YouTube as well soon, yeah?
Yeah, this year, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
All right. Nice.
That's fantastic, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be a different avenue. TikTok and YouTube are slightly different, but I want to cater to both markets if I can. Proper reviews, long breakdowns, all that kind of jazz, and then your quick, easy things on TikTok as well, because the TikTok is good for having a community. So I've got a really good community on TikTok, some really good lads. Then for those who want to see longer videos, give them that option as well that you can't give them on TikTok.
True that.
Raf Sense, I'm going to have to shoot off now. I'm so sorry, but I've really enjoyed talking to you all. So I've spoken to you guys up the top before, and it's good to meet Oda Ragnar. I have followed you, and I will invite every one of you to a live stream anytime you want. I know it's a bit difficult for Omar, actually both of you in the UK, it's kind of late at night, but I'll be hitting you up to see if you want to hop on, and it'd be really nice to get you on Raf Sense as well. It's been too long, but I better get going. I've got a few things to do, and I've got my
it was an absolute pleasure to have you on.
No.
Good to see you.
It was an honor. Take care. Have a great rest of the show. I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.
Be well, my son. Be well, my friend. Be well.
I'll head off as well, Jesse. Then I was going to head off anyways at this point. So I appreciate both of you guys. I really enjoyed this conversation. Very insightful. And
Mr.
really
Omar, I appreciate everything you've done, man. You have been a big part of my fragrance world, and I'm sure thousands and thousands and thousands of others, man. You were making a huge mark on this world, my friend, and I'm super proud of everything you're doing, my man.
That's very kind of you. It's only the beginning, my friend. This is nothing so far. You've seen nothing, and I've seen nothing from you guys. So this is only your beginning. You guys want to move on to great things. I really respect that you're going for what you want to do, Matt, with your own fragrance release. It's not easy, but respecting that.
Yeah, thank you very much, and it was great to meet you. Like I said before we started, I've watched your videos for a long time, man, so it's nice to finally meet you, and have a conversation.
I'll follow you on YouTube now. I'm just subscribe, and I'll follow you on TikTok as well.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Omar. You be well, my friend.
Thanks, you too. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Later on. Oh, my guys. That was Omar and Dan, probably two of the sexiest people in the fragrance community. That's what I'm talking about. So here's a couple other questions. Haven't gotten to the chat as much as I want to. I'm so sorry about that, but we got some things. Start some beef in the fragrance community. Which fragrance reviewers do you not trust? I think we'll probably leave that alone, right?
I'll be honest, mate. Jeremy Fragrance, I don't trust a word the guy says.
All right, here's one for you. Top 5 best bang for your buck fragrances. What is a couple good bang for your buck scents that you know about?
Okay, so just from a UK perspective, bang for your buck fragrance. Okay, so one would be Afnan 9 PM. This is £20 in the UK. Have you got this, Jesse?
I do not have that one. I've actually had a lot of people ask me about it, and I haven't picked that one up yet.
Hey, yeah, this is it's a clone of Ultra Male, where you get 100 mils as opposed to 75.
Ooh.
And you know what? It smells better than Ultra Male. It performs better than Ultra Male. So I give this fragrance a lot of gas, but for that reason. So bang for your buck, £20, 100 mils. It's 1-to-1. I'd say better than Ultra Male.
Dang. Here's one I think people need to look out for. So Perry Ellis, everybody's been pretty familiar with Perry Ellis 360 Red. It's the big red bottle that Jeremy Fragrance makes fun of for looking like a dick all the time. But it smells just like the original Acqua di Gio. But if you are in TJ Maxx or Ross, and I think it's called TK Maxx, as my friend Chris told me a couple days ago, you may find this one. It's still from Perry Ellis, but this is 360 Black. This is the BBC, the Big Black Cologne, and it is an incredible fragrance set. I completely blind bought, and it was like $17, which I think is about 13, 14 quids over there. But this one is tobacco and suede, and it is a great edgy fragrance. If you ever find this one, man, this one needs to be in your collection all freaking day long. I'm sorry?
What's the performance on it like?
So the performance is about maybe 5 hours, 5.5. It's not the best. It projects pretty well, but it's not the actual best. But I think to myself, when you're paying that, when it's that inexpensive, what are you really losing?
Yeah, just whack it on, man.
Yeah, and so I thought that was it. And I'm so sorry, Mary, if you're still in here. He says, Mr. Smelly, have any suggestions for how a woman can look as dapper as him? I would say put on a bow tie. That's a good start. Put on a bow tie.
How many people have we got in here? I can't see
24 people in here right now, which is absolutely phenomenal, guys. Thank y'all so much for being in here. YouTube, it's hard to get not followers, but views on live streams. Okay, live streams and followers when it comes to YouTube. If you've got 1,000 subscribers, maybe 20% of them will watch your content regularly. There's a lot of people that subscribe to you, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just the way it is. You know, they're just kind of on there, but regular viewers, but live streams are a much different beast on YouTube because you've got to be pretty in tune to watching them on a regular basis to be interested in checking out live events and stuff. And we've been on here for an hour now, and a lot of these guys have been on here, been watching us for this long. That is some pretty damn great commitment. Sexy monkey, you freaking, that's right, baby, you know it. And no, I'm not wearing eyeliner today. No guy liner from me. Here's a question: how much do we sacrifice our genuine feelings in order to grow our pages? Bro, actually, this actually has a little bit of a pretty real connotation, because sometimes I feel like you have to, on TikTok especially, you have to almost jump on a trend train. You know what I'm saying? You see this popular trend or this popular filter, and it's like, I'll just make this. Or that anything you make about Versace Eros is going to be popular. So in order to stay relevant, you got to kind of buckle down and get on that train. You get that sometimes. You ever get to the point where it's like, all right, let's talk about Eros again, or let's talk about Savage again. And
yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so I did a video before, and it was your popular fragrances, your Dior Sauvage, your Versace Eros, your Ultra Male, and I got a couple comments, only like 2 out of, say, I don't know, about 105, saying, bro, same fragrances again, change the fragrances. It's like, okay, but when I do change the fragrance, people don't like it. Do you know what I mean? Or like, you want me to go out and buy something specifically just for yourself? I can't do that. If I could, I would, but I can't. So, it's kind of like a fine balance. Like, what do you want to, what do you want from me, kind of thing.
Yeah, people, absolutely.
These videos do well. People like that. You know what I mean? So there's a fine. So I posted a review the other day of this Onyx from Aaron Terrence Hughes, which is a world-class fragrance. The review was good, and the video was my hardest flop so far.
Nice.
And
what do you think of the new Sniff app? I've not even seen the Sniff app. I'm gonna have to. Do you know about the fragrance app Sniff?
Oda Taylor was telling me about it. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but I know it's a thing.
I'm gonna look into that and see if I can figure something out, because that's a big thing. That's right. I appreciate that YouTubers that I feel are authentic and give their true, unfiltered opinions. Omar, Jensen's, TLTG, those are all incredible, incredible things. Oh, look at that. Luxury Cats, how are you, awesome person? I have not talked to you in a minute. I hope you're well. Wish we could all share our collections. I wish we could too. We need to probably, but we could start a doggone Discord at some point. I haven't done that because I don't have the time. It's hard to manage a lot of various social media platforms all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have to look into that Sniff app for sure. Sebastian, the perfume guy, seems genuine too. I'm gonna have to look into that. And Dan was right too when he was talking about when you spend so much time making content. I don't spend very much of my time on YouTube. Because I get burnt out after I shoot a video, I edit a video, I post a video. It turns into such a thing that I just like to lay down and take a nap. And sometimes it's, sometimes it's just been hard, man. Sometimes it's hard. I love you. Great show. I love you too, Mr. Chris, you freaking beast of a man. Ragnar, quality suggestions in his reviews have not failed. So I want to see. I'm going to throw you a little curveball. Let me ask you if you have. I've got a few fragrances out here. I want you to tell me if you have smelled them, and if you have, tell me what your thoughts on these particular fragrances are. All right.
Okay.
Here is the original, because you're an Azzaro guy. I love Azzaro. Azzaro, Wanted by Night. How do you like this fragrance?
So this fragrance in general, I love it, but I've got a bit of a personal beef with it. So one of my best mates bought this on my recommendation, and he wore it non-stop. And now whenever I smell it, it just reminds me of that guy. So it reminds me of my mates. But in terms of the fragrance itself, yeah, really good performance as well. Not bad.
This is actually the fragrance that got me into collecting a bit, because this is one of my first 3 that I ever bought. I bought this one, Prada Luna Rossa Carbon, and Nautica Voyage. All 3 of those. And then when I smelled this one, I was like, holy shit, I didn't know that guys could smell like this. I didn't know that this was possible. So I'm like, you know what? I think I'll try out a couple more. And I started buying a couple more. And then by the time I turned around, man, I had 220 bottles.
So a big ass collection.
Yeah, it's a pretty big ass collection for sure. So let me see this. We talked about this one the other day. Scandal Pour Homme.
Yeah, my jumper is good, yeah.
How do you like this one?
I much prefer the Le Parfum. So I know you've not tried the Parfum, but the Le Parfum of Scandal is a lot better than the original.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first smelt this, when it came out in the UK, I wasn't a fan. But it's grown on me. There's something earthy in there for me. So I do love the scent, but I just find that there's something earthy. It's a bomb of caramel vanilla. It's aromatic. But it's just, there's something about it that makes the Le Parfum so much a better fragrance. If you need to try the Le Parfum, Jesse, trust me, it's 10 times better.
Dang, I want to. I've been on the lookout for them. Online, they've been a little bit too expensive for me to just want to be like, all right, yeah, I'll get it. Because a lot of times when I buy fragrances, I'm really ADD with it. It's like, I feel like I want to get an actual collection of all of one particular line of fragrances. But whenever I start going off on something else. That's awesome. And so I forget to purchase the rest of that one brand. Like I've got 3 from this one, but I still need the original Azara Wanted, and the tonic I've heard is garbage.
The tonic is dog water. But Azara actually releasing a new fragrance within the next month.
Again?
Yeah, but it's from the Azara Chrome line, so it's Azara Chrome Extreme, I think it is.
Oh, okay. Just bought YSL Eau de Toilette because it was on offer. Do you think it was a good buy? Have you tried the Eau de Toilette of the YSL?
Me.
There we go. Was it a good buy? Was it a good purchase?
It was a fantastic purchase. One of my favorite fragrances.
I think the Y line is 100% stellar, and I really enjoy the Eau de Parfum probably the most, and the Le Parfum is just so freaking good.
The Le Parfum it's slightly different, so it's not nearly as fresh. So the EDP is definitely the best one, but the Eau de Toilette I find to be sweeter than the EDP. That's why I really like the Eau de Toilette.
So I actually, and this is crazy, I actually just got a message while we were on this stream. So a few weeks ago, I was over in Tampa, Florida, and there's a big mall there called International Plaza, and they've got a lot of high-end retailers in there that sell Creed and sell Parfums de Marly, sell Tom Fords, things like that. And one of the stores that is in there is called Dillard's. It's a big department store, but this particular one, there are Dillard's all over the country, and not all of them carry the same fragrances. Like I've got one close to my house. They carry the Chanel, they carry the Dior and stuff. But this particular one has Tom Ford. They have like the high-end Bulgari line, everything like that. I went in there and started talking to a couple of the guys, and they have offered to have me come down and work and live stream in their store because they have an event going on for Parfums de Marly and want me to come in and be a thing for them. And so I'm pretty excited about that. Parfums de Marly. And so have you tried any of the Parfums de Marly fragrances?
I've tried most of them. Yeah, I don't own any, but I've tried them all. Well, most of them.
So this one right here is my most recent purchase. This is the Haldane. Have you given Haldane a sniff?
That's one of the ones I haven't actually smelt. So when I went to Selfridges, which was in Manchester, they didn't have that one. They had like Sedgwick, Carlisle, PDM Leighton. I think it was like Leighton and Pence or something like that. And a couple of others that were nice.
Just bought Black Afghano. Dude.
Yeah, but not the Nosamato one. It's actually, I don't know if you'll be able to get this in the States. It's an Arabic one from Pre-Bay Couture Collection.
Okay.
£10 or like say $13. Make this is insanely good.
Why don't designer fragrances branch out into car home fragrances that match their usual products? I'm not sure. Honestly, there's probably, you'd be surprised that there are a lot of designer fragrances and things like that that they have some they have products that you don't even know exist, and some of them are amazing. Like I know that I think Chanel, Dior, they all have lines of candles that match their fragrances. And you know, you always see around the holidays and stuff, you'll always see these gift packs where you can get a full bottle, but you also get like shower gel and lotion and stuff. Who'd have thought they made like Dior Sauvage shower gel or Versace Eros shampoo and stuff? So there's some that probably do actually. There's some that probably do actually carry these fragrances in different forms or another. On so you just have to Google them and see what they do offer and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's £90 for a Tom Ford candle.
My ass. I got better. I'm about to burn away 90 pounds. No.
Yeah. If you want a Tom Ford candle, because Tom Ford do make candles, it's 90 quid. If you go to the Yankee candle shop and get, I don't know, 15 candles.
No, thank you. And I don't know what it is, but I'm probably going to be sounding like an insane person right now. I used to love walking into Yankee candle stores, and I love picking up the ones that smell like strawberry cream or whatever, because they smell edible. And I used to want to like think to myself, I guarantee that these things must taste as good as they smell. Sitting there in the candle shop, you're sitting there, and then you kind of look around and like, then you stick your tongue out and hope nobody saw you try to taste it. Oh man. But I'm telling you what though. And by the way, I did forget to mention this when all the other guys were here. A big event happened a couple days ago. We lost Mr. Paco Rabanne.
Yes, we did.
The man passed away. And so tell me about your favorite or some notable Paco Rabanne fragrances that should be on people's radars. This
is my favorite one.
Elixir.
Yeah, 100%. Mate, so when I come out the shower, when I woke up, you saw me just wake up, we were on FaceTime. And when I come out the shower, I was thinking Sauvage Elixir or 1 Million Elixir. It was between the two. I was so tempted to pick this up, but I don't know if you can see how much juice is in there. I've gone through nearly half the bottle.
Yeah.
This is such a sick fragrance, man. It's still my most complimented one this year.
Yeah. So my favorite, the 1 Million line's hit or miss for me.
Yeah.
And so I like the Elixir. It smells good. And to be fair, I need to smell it again. I need to put it on my skin again, try it out.
Privé.
Oh, of course. It's the one. The Privé is a discontinued, an absolute amazing fragrance, bro. An absolute stunner. But with the, I remember when the Elixir first came out, that was also around the time that there was the new Azzaro. And so Azzaro and everything, it seemed to me like a lot of the fragrance brands, a lot of their fragrances seem to kind of follow the same scent profile.
Sweet, gourmandy.
Yeah, and so I was probably a little bit burned out whenever I discovered the 1 Million Elixir. And so gotta say, loving the mini bar behind you. That's right, baby. We are that's also one thing that I'm that I'm proud of is that I love mixing a good drink. And by the way, guys, I do got to tell you, I was talking to Matt about this a few days back, is that I'm actually trying to talk to a couple of mixologists, because if you've ever been on Fragrantica and looked at some of the notes in some of these fragrances, you'll notice that there are a lot that seem very edible and very tasty. And I've always wondered, can a mixologist take things like cinnamon and mandarin orange and vanilla and a couple of other notes and make a drink that could match the vibe and taste good, but could match the vibe of a fragrance? And so I don't have that much creativity in my bones to be able to mix a drink like that, but I've always wondered, that's got to be a thing, man. When you see coconut and other things, and there's like, bro, that's got to be a really good drink. But then again, it's because I'm an alcoholic.
Ideal one, man. So green notes, mimosa, lotus. But mimosa's already cocktail, ain't it? So I'm sure you could work with mimosa. I know that's a note in this. The green notes, I don't know, use kiwis or something.
Yep. Absolutely. Now, I would tell you, since you brought that one up, I was going to talk about fragrances that maybe we have discovered because another fragrance influencer turned us on to them, or just enlightened us on those things. As much as I despise that guy that we all know, there was a fragrance that I discovered because of him, and used to be my signature scent for the summertime, and that was this one right here, Bulgari Aquamarine. Dude, this is I think this is a bit of a step up from the Nautica Voyage. If you ever get a chance to try this one out, it smells, if you go out on a boat, for example, and some of the waves crash against the boat and spray that sea mist all over the place, it smells just like that sea mist, just crisp ocean water that is just, so good during the summertime, man. I absolutely love that one.
I've only ever bought one because of Jeremy, and that was Guerlain Paris L'Homme Ideal. What I bought because of Jeremy Fragrance. That was when he actually did decent content, though.
Yeah, that was when he was a fragrance influencer.
Yeah, before being whatever he is.
One of my guys, by the way, one of my favorite things, and I don't do it very much. My wife actually gets annoyed because she's like, Jesse, you can make so much better so much better content than this or that or whatever. I love making little videos where I'm duetting Jeremy Fragrance, something like that, and it is amazing the amount of people that will come in and just completely wreck the comments section. But what people don't realize is that we're not knocking Jeremy Fragrance. We are knocking his moronic followers, because I can literally go in and say the nicest things about Jeremy Fragrance, and then somebody will say, yep, he's still better than you. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, I was just saying, like, yeah, sound, he's better than me. Congratulations.
I'm like, yeah, that's what I said. So have you tried, here's another one. Have you tried the Gentleman Givenchy Reserve Privé?
I have, yes. I don't own it, but I've tried it. So I tried that when it first came out. I think the middle note, is it whiskey or rum?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's one of those. I find it very similar to Bentley for Men Intense, because this has got a similar note breakdown. It's just Givenchy is, as you'd expect, a lot more refined. It's a lot more classy. It's got more depth and character. It's more crisp. But I find it very close to this, to be honest. I think that just might be the boozy note. But in terms of a bespoke sitting room gentleman's fragrance, I think Reserve Privé is one of the designer ones that's right up there in terms of
nice.
The masculinity. It's really nice, yeah.
Nice. And then I would recommend one last one that I think it's a pretty new one as far as in the fragrance community, and it's this one right here. This is from a British house called Famine. It's a niche fragrance called Carved Oud. And I refer to this fragrance right here as the Tom Ford killer, because oud wood now takes a back seat to this one, bro.
For me in London, yes. Yeah, I know. Yep. I couldn't really, because the window is so small.
Oh,
yeah, I
oh,
see
okay.
it.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. That one right there, bro. Top of the line. And they have a couple other ones like Regent Leather that are just phenomenal as well. But if you ever get a chance to sample Famine, dude, they are amazing.
Yeah, they're
Really,
on the
really good.
radar. They are on the radar. I think the next niches I'm going to buy are more from Aaron Terrence Hughes. And then I'm going to start looking at some other stuff like, Son of Musk. I have tried some of their stuff, but I wasn't overly blown away. Son of Musk.
I need to get into Aaron Terrence Hughes because they haven't been very readily available here in the States. I think there's only one fragrance website, and I'm going to look right now that carries.
I don't know if Aaron's website posts to the US. I could find out for you. But in terms of his fragrance, I've got two. Mate, they are insanely good. I mean, Onyx, this one is insanely good.
Yeah.
Like, so natural, it's vibrant, it's very, Jex itself, it's a beast. But he's got one called Hard Candy, and that's one of his flagship fragrances, so to speak.
Oh.
That's the one I want to try, and he's just released an Elixir line as well. Really, really good stuff. So I'm really, really excited and eager to try some of his work.
So I think that I'm looking here online, and Aaron Terrence Hughes at one point sold on one website, and now I'm looking, and the only ones that I'm seeing is Jasmine Narcotic and Gardenia Blanc. But the rest of them he sells in not even. Let me see. Yeah, in small 5 ml bottles.
Is that in the US?
Yeah, here in the US.
Yeah.
So we don't really have a way to really have a way to get on those. So anyways, guys, I think it is about time to wrap up. We have been on here for a good 75 minutes, almost an hour and a half. And this has been an absolute joy. We had our other guys on a little bit earlier. Matt, I'm so happy to have brought you on, man. The first live stream here on this fragrance channel, and it is amazing, guys. Be sure you've all hit the like button. Be sure you've given this channel a subscribe, and be sure you are finding O'Day Ragnar on his channel as well, man. He deserves your follow, man. I'm telling you what, so yours is probably, I would say, the fragrance channel that I spend the most time on TikTok. I don't comment very much because I'm constantly typing to people, so I'm just reviewing and moving on. But I'm telling you what, man, the way you describe fragrances, I look for fragrance influencers that are actually descriptive with their things. Like you and I are on the same page in the fact that people that take pictures from Google Images, people that just are idiots, I guess. I'll go ahead and say it. Freaking idiots and simps and simpletons. God dang, man. They're just annoying. And I really do hate fragrance TikTok sometimes, but I know it's a necessary evil. And yours is one of my favorite channels on there, man. So I'm very, very proud of you and very proud of all of the progress you've made on your channel, my bro.
Yeah, Jesse, I appreciate it, mate. Thank you for having me on as well, man. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. So you guys be sure to hit the notification bell too, so you'll know when we start doing more live streams. These are going to be more regular, probably every other week or so. I'm going to have some theme talks about what it means to be a gentleman, and I'm going to try to get some other smaller accounts on, probably from TikTok, that we'll get to know and get to enjoy and stuff. But I'm glad to have had you guys on. So we will leave you with a video and end this live stream. Much love, my friend.
Cheers.
Hey, sorry I missed your call. I was just calling you back to let you know that I love you and I miss you. I really want you to call me back. And I'm sorry I missed your phone call, and that I know you're done. So So when you get this, can you call me back? I love you and I miss you.